What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Gakis, and today it might be time to take a bit of a break from Destiny 2. Let's be honest, guys, the Solstice event was fantastic, showering players in loot and helping them level up faster. But that's over now, and we're back to the same old leveling system that so many people expressed frustration over being not rewarding and too slow. And I've seen so many comments from people saying they're scratching that looter-shooter itch on other games while Bungie figures things out. And one of the games I've seen mentioned a lot is the subject of today's video, the First Descendant. So when Nexon reached out to me and said, we've just put out our Season 3 and we want you to cover what's in it, I jumped on the opportunity because frankly, I was curious myself. So let's talk about what's going on with the new Season 3 in the First Descendant. Remember, this game is completely free to play, so the barrier to entry is nothing. And of course, guys, you know how this works. If at any point during the video I say something you think sounds cool, or you see something in the background gameplay that really motivates you to play the First Descendant, you can simply click the link in the description down below. That'll take you right to the First Descendant Season 3. However, something I was concerned about, and it's something that impacts like every looter shooter out there, is that I was a returning player. I played the First Descendant when it first came out. I had fun, but I was just too busy at the time to keep playing it. But am I just going to be completely lost? Like, am I going to be super underleveled? Am I even going to be able to play the new Season 3 content? Well, they actually have a boost up system. So as you can see right here, you can just for free, like I didn't have to pay anything for this, get a free level 40 character, level 40 descendant called Bunny, who is a fan favorite character because of her skills. Seriously, it is a very fun character. You're going to activate her like super sprint ability to charge up electricity, and then you're going to disperse that electricity to nearby combatants, doing massive damage in AoEs. Like, really fun character to play. So you're going to get level 40 of that character. On top of that, you are fully kitted out with level 100 gear. So you have all level 100 components, which is basically like an armor set, as you can see, with special set bonuses. You also have like a level 100 reactor core that works with your build. For the weapons, you actually get two of their versions of like exotic weapons. You get the Thunder Cage and the Secret Garden. Quick tip here, guys, the Thunder Cage is like the first of these unique weapons you unlock. If you're a returning player like me, you might have old low-level versions of this sitting around. You can sacrifice those into your new level 100 version to make it even better, guys. And on top of that, if you have old ultimate weapons, like you can see I had this ultimate hand cannon from when I first played, there is an infusion system, so I can sacrifice a level 100 weapon, like a random rare I get from a mission, and get my ultimate hand cannon up to level 100 so I can use it now. And this is actually something I did appreciate a ton. The weapons are kitted out with fully upgraded mods, as you can see. So the First Descendant has a very, very deep like weapon crafting system, and also like character descendant crafting system with these mods. You can put on a bunch of different mods, but they all cost a certain amount, and you have a resource cap on your mods. So you're trying to figure out like how many incredible mods you can fit on at once, like trying to get as close to the cap as possible. But again, this is something that, you know, I think a lot of other games would maybe overlook. They give you the level 40 character, they give you some cracked out weapons, but they're not modded, and so you feel a little bit underpowered. Not this case. I did not feel underpowered at all. If anything, I felt a little bit overpowered. The stuff they give you is absolutely cracked out. On top of that, they instantly put you into the hard mode version of the world. So if you come from like a Borderlands background, you know, when you beat the entire campaign and then you go and replay it on a harder difficulty, they basically put you in on that harder difficulty, which is where you're going to be accessing a lot of this new Season 3 content. They also have a new boost path system. So if you choose the boost up to kind of be brought up to parity with where a lot of other people are, then you have a specific like quest line that eases you into the game again. Like, it tells you a certain quest to go and do to relearn a lot of the mechanics and the features of the First Descendant. So as a returning player, this is exactly what I wanted to see. Like, I would have been pretty far behind if I had just hopped back on my original characters, so this was awesome. Now, after that, I started to do some missions, again following that boosted path questline. And as you guys can see, I gotta point out, this game is showering you in loot. As you can see, when I kill these bosses in a simple mission, I am getting new weapons, new mods for my weapons, new mods for my Descendant. I'm getting parts to create more Descendants and to craft exotic weapons. I'm getting doohickeys and thingamajiggies that I don't even know what they do. And already, I'm gonna be honest, I don't care if it's a sponsored video. I have my first complaint here, guys, or just a warning, frankly. You're gonna have to do some inventory management here. I was getting so much new loot that I had to go back and delete pretty much everything from my original characters because now I'm getting a level 100 stuff. It's just so much better than what I had in the past, guys. But yeah, you're going to have to stop after a few missions and look in your inventory and manage that stuff. That is the downside of a game being so rewarding with loot. You get so much stuff, and there's only so much inventory space. But if you're okay with that, man, it does feel nice to get a shower of loot. But as I'm doing these missions and completing quests, I'm getting more and more quests, and just when I start to get a bit overwhelmed and confused, I open my quest tab and see all the main quests are neatly organized by what season they're from, so I can easily target the Season 3 main questline. And let's go over what new content was added to the First Descendant with Season 3. First of all, Season 3, called Breakthrough, has its own story, new cutscenes, and lore to enjoy. On top of that, we get a brand new Descendant, Nell, the telekinetic gun dealer. Now, she's described as a Descendant who can utilize both powerful single-target gun attacks and AoE skills to defeat enemies. Specifically, the skill that stood out to me is her Gaze of the Abyss, which says all firearm attacks from Nell target weak points, increasing the weak point damage of herself and nearby allies. And while this skill is active, hitting targets inflicted with active scan, which comes from her passive, can actually increase the duration of this Gaze of the Abyss skill. So you can use it to improve your and your team's DPS output, which I love. And obviously, you know, you're going and collecting all these weapons, awesome new weapons that we're going to talk about in a sec. And this just lets you play this character and then also make the most of those sick new weapons by boosting their damage massively. Now remember, unlocking characters in the First Descendant, well, it can take a while, but it's very deterministic. As you can see right here, it tells you everything you need to research, all the materials, and it will even open up the map of exactly where you need to go to get these materials so you can just work your way into unlocking these new characters. Now, I mentioned weapons. There are two new ones with Season 3. The first one is the Eraser, a scout rifle that analyzes enemy defense mechanisms with every shot. So, as you can see right here, on hitting an enemy, it grants Analyze. This converts to Degrade at max stacks, and while Degrade is active, firing creates degrading enzymes at the hit location. Enemies hit with these enzymes are inflicted with corrosion and suffer a weakened adaptive defenses. So, you're going to be, as you're hitting a target more and more and more, inflicting this weaken and this corrosion effect. So against more powerful enemies, against the massive bosses you get in the Void Intercept battles, for example, this could be very effective. Now, the other new weapon is the Exterminator. It's a launcher that, when aiming, locks onto enemies within the firing angle and fires a barrage of missiles. As you can see, this is going to be great for crowd control. Now, there's also a new location, a new field that came with Season 3, Axian Plains. It's accessible by selecting the hard difficulty from the world map, and in this new location, there are 7 different missions, and one of them will become an operational area. So, the monsters in the operational area are much stronger, but that's where you're going to get some of your better rewards. Now, specifically, there's also the Void Axiom. where while exploring the Axiom field, you may come across a special supply box called the Void Axiom, and this is automatically collected when you approach it and can even be gathered while riding the new hover bike. That's right. To help you explore this huge new Axiom Plains location, they've added hover bikes. As you can see, you just summon them and you can start scooting around. You have a boost and you have a surprisingly high jump as well. And again, these will help you traverse the world of the First Descendant, guys. And another new piece of content that's coming with this Axiom Plains location is a new 8-player field raid boss called the Wall Crasher. So it spawns at the Central Colossus, a guided capture zone in Axiom Plains at set intervals. Before its arrival, ominous signs will blanket the Axiom field, letting you know that, hey, it might be time to squad up and get ready for this thing, and you can move inside the capture zone. The area will turn into an 8-player instance dungeon, and the battle focuses on dodging the Colossus's powerful skills while dealing consistent damage, guys. Now, on top of there being a special world raid boss, there's also a brand new Void Abyss Intercept battle called Storm Hanger. So again, part of the First Descendant is going against these huge Void Intercept bosses. As you can see in the background gameplay, I was battling my way through the hard difficulty bosses, like working my way up. If you're worried about, oh my goodness, like I'm so far behind in the First Descendant, like am I going to be able to take on these bosses? Bro, people were just spawning in and nuking these bosses. You're definitely going to have some pretty overpowered long-term players helping you out with these. And if you don't get them, it's a very, very fun and engaging fight. And again, the stuff they give you for that boost, you have some pretty saucy high DPS stuff you can use to deal with these guys. But again, the new one is called Storm Hanger. Now, its most noticeable characteristic is the ability to amplify its combat power through repeated accumulation and dispersal of electral energy. And remember, Void Intercept battles are how you're going to unlock some of the more important research materials that you need to unlock new Descendant characters and new weapons and so on, guys. Now, on top of that, there's also a new collaboration with Nier Automata. And as you can see, they absolutely knocked it out of the park with the skins. Honestly, those are kind of the main things as a returning player that piqued my interest. Now, there's a couple of other things if you are someone who is more involved with the First Descendant. Maybe you played, a decent amount of launch and season 2. This is for you. So there's also going to be a new type of module, trigger modules. So this is a growth element for Descendants that can be equipped once both the Descendant and the Arc Tuning skill reaches level 40. Each skill possesses a unique tag attribute, and by equipping trigger modules linked to these tags, you can enhance these skills. So if you already have like a maxed out, really sick build from previous seasons, still a reason to come back and you can push that build even further now with trigger modules. And on top of that, guys, there's also new external components, and an external component is kind of like an armor set. As you can see, here are some right here, and they are also going to offer set bonuses. So the first one, Ballistic Tracker, this deals additional ricochet damage on weak point attacks. Then you have the Dimensional Destroyer set, and the bonus here is that it generates floating orbs that deal extra damage when using skill attacks. And then finally, the Circulation set, the bonus here is that it further enhances the abilities of Descendants with healing power. So if you have a support build, that one could be for you guys. So, overall, I did enjoy my time hopping back into the First Descendant for Season 3, and I would attribute a lot of that to the boost up and the boost path. Like, that was my main concern, and that's why I didn't come back to this game sooner, is I felt I would just be so far behind and I wouldn't even be able to experience the new content. But now, I just boost up, I get that level 40 bunny, I get a bunch of, like, again, sick weapons. They did not hold back on the weapons, fully kitted out with fully upgraded modules, all that stuff, and I'm able to hop right into some of the new content, right? So that is great. Now, downside, very overwhelming in the sense of there is so much going on with this game. I have to relearn the module system. There's like a full upgrade system with the modules, and you have the weapon modules and Descendant modules. You are getting a ton of loot, which is a very nice break from what's going on in Destiny right now. I will be honest, like it's kind of nice. After a mission, you're flooded with loot. You have all these different options of new stuff you can choose between. But again, that's just a lot of stuff thrown at you. And again, it can be quite overwhelming. But it was also fun. And I already find myself like, I'm going to get gameplay for this video of like the new character and stuff like that. And then I'll notice, wait a minute, I have a couple of things already done. I already have a couple of the research things I need for other Descendants, and I'm already going to those menus and like plotting out, wait a minute, I could just do this and then actually get a new Descendant character. I'm like plotting out what I need to do after I do this video to come back and like unlock new characters and stuff, right? So I think a lot of you guys watching might be in my shoes. You're looking to take a bit of a break with a different looter shooter. You get that same itch scratched, but it's a different experience. And the First Descendant is so easy to recommend because it's free. Like, that is the main thing, guys. It's completely free. The boost up was free. You can just start playing pretty much immediately, and that is awesome. I will say, however, an important thing to note about the boost up, if you are someone who maybe played in Season 2, if you have a really good character, you can just turn down the boost up and you get all of the boost up rewards. Like, you just get all the mats and stuff if you want by choosing claim components only. So it's kind of just a pure win. Like, if you are a dedicated player who maybe took a bit of a break from the First Descendant, you don't want the boost up, you're still getting a ton of rewards for hopping on in Season 3. So that's awesome as well. Anyways, guys, there you have it. Click the link in the description down below to check out the First Descendant Season 3 breakthrough today. And guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more First Descendant content, let me know in the comment section down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, guys, have a good day.